Akeisha right here, that's her right there, right? Uh, in court, uh, I don't know if this is the sentencing hearing right here, right? I think there's two court hearings attached to this video. I'm not sure, but she's here for being violent as usual, to her significant other. It's a DV case, and I guess they just gonna ask her a couple of questions. So let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
I don't plan on talking to him from here on out because now there's a Child Protective Services case open, and
So what happened December 31? What happened December 31 of last year?
we both were drinking. It was New Year's Eve, and things got really out of hand.
How?
We got into a serious argument. He was threatening to expose my medication bottles. I'm a licensed manicurist.
Expose your medication bottles. What do you mean?
What do that mean? Well, expose your medication. What are you taking pills for? Houses in Virginia pills? That's what he was gonna expose?
Thought that I was cheating,
Okay.
and he was threatening to expose my medicine bottles on Facebook.
Okay.
And
So you get in this argument, and what happens?
he said that he's been waiting to set me up for quite some time because he was arrested for burglary.
All right. So then when the police arrived and you knew they were...
They be making these guys sound like cartoon villains, right? I've been waiting forever to set you up since the last time. I've been waiting. I finally got you. They just be making things up, right? It sounds like a cartoon villain she talking about.
they were there, why were you blocking the door, keeping them from getting in? If he was threatening you?
I wasn't blocking the door. He had
You
me-
were blocking the door. I've read that portion of the police report where you were blocking the door. They kept telling you move. You refused to move. And then when you finally moved is when they got in. So why were you blocking the door?
I couldn't move. He had me by my hair. We were in my living room.
Okay. All right. Why then when
The next question, but what
you went
hair?
in there, why were you completely out of control and they had to carry you out? They had to call two other departments to carry you out of the door to put you in the car. And you were kicking and screaming the entire way. Why were you doing that?
I have some trauma in my background from sexual assault, and
You've got a lot of problems that you haven't dealt with. Despite what you're telling me, okay, you haven't dealt with them. You may or may not go to Signature Health, okay? But whatever you're doing there, and whatever you have done there, hasn't worked one bit. Now, you were interviewed to go to NeoCap, and you were screaming at the lady that was trying to interview you such that she couldn't interview you. Why were you doing that?
because from what I'm hearing, NeoCap has a therapy called cognitive behavioral therapy, and I'm a victim of sexual assault. The reason why I didn't calm down when the police came because there was
No, I'm talking about why you were screaming at this lady from Neo.
And this is the reason why, when they go to court, the courts are not trying to hear that. The courts are not trying to hear that because the courts heard it over and over and over. What's your excuse for doing this? What's your excuse for doing that? Other than the truth. Even if she's telling the truth about her past, that still doesn't give you the right to act a fool, to be violent, to be disorderly, to not comply. No, you're an adult now. And whatever demons you have in your past, if she's telling the truth, if you have those demons, you have to go to therapy. You have to deal with them. You have children. You can't act like that. And your go-to move when you act out can't be about past trauma. You're not a child anymore. You have children now. So you have to deal with it. You have to go to therapy, seek help, but you can't use that as a go-to move every time you wild out. And that's the reason why it doesn't work in court, because it used to work in court. But now the judges are hip to it, and they like, nah, we're not going for that anymore.
From NeoCap.
I don't want to go to NeoCap.
Why not?
because They have cognitive behavioral therapy.
Okay, what's that?
It's a therapy that's not good for people that have PTSD.
How do you know that?
I talked to my therapist, and here, her name's Bree from Signature Health.
Okay, so Bree from Signature Health told you to resist going to NeoCap.
No, she didn't say resist. She said she didn't think that would be good for me because
Is Bree here somewhere that I can't see?
no.
Do you know who this Bree is, Megan? This is why I never sent people to Signature Health. Okay? So did you tell this person from NeoCap that you didn't want to go there because they have cognitive behavioral therapy and Bree told you it's no good for PTSD?
No, I told her that I have a daughter, and it would create a separation, more time away from my daughter.
So which was it? If they didn't have cognitive behavioral therapy, would you have gone there?
No,
Okay, because of your daughter.
yeah.
Okay, so you didn't want to go there because of the cognitive behavioral therapy, because of your daughter, and why else?
Those are the only two reasons.
Okay.
I don't think that, also, they don't have, from what I'm hearing, the other inmates were saying, they don't have
Okay,
any.
so let me stop you there, because the last
Other
thing
inmates.
that you should be listening to is the other inmates.
Right.
Because not a one of them know what the hell they're talking about. So you'll listen to them, but you won't
Yeah, right. They in there with you. They in there with you. What do they? Let's go. Let's go.
listen to anybody else. You won't listen to the lady from NeoCap tell you what that has to offer and why that may be good for you, because you're listening to the other inmates because they told you something about NeoCap.
Keisha
The
Logic.
lady said that they don't have any church there either.
Okay? What lady was that?
I spoke to the NeoCap lady.
The one that you were
Need
screaming
church
at?
now.
Couldn't interview you because you were screaming at her uncontrollably? That one?
We interviewed.
You interviewed. Were you screaming at her the whole time or just
I
part of the
cried.
time?
I cried almost the whole time.
It strikes me from reading everything that you have no insight as to what your condition is. And you certainly then have no insight as to what you can do to treat your condition. That's clear to me. And then you're causing problems when you're in the jail. Reports of you causing problems with other inmates when you're in the jail. And they told you to calm down, they tried to talk to you, you wouldn't listen. And then there was a lockdown. So you have no insight into your condition, the severity of your condition. You certainly don't know what to do to make it better. That's where you're at, Ms. Cutts.
Thank you, Your Honor. And this is a situation I know the court is aware. When the police were called, Mr. Joyner was indicating he wasn't able to leave the residence and he wanted to leave. The police came. Nobody would open the door. They specifically were asking the defendant to open the door. After the officers were on the outside of the door asking, then they heard motions and it sounded like an assault was in progress. They did kick in the door. When they entered the residence, they saw the defendant striking Mr. Joyner in the living room. At that point, two were separated. Mr. Joyner was found to have a bump on his head. He did have some physical harm. They had been in a relationship for an extended period of time. The relationship obviously facilitated the offense, which is obviously part of what domestic violence indicates. In this case, the defendant's daughter was in the residence as well while this was occurring. At that time, I believe she was either 6 or 7 years of age. During the time that the police were trying to take the defendant into custody and remove her from the residence, she was resistant to that, sitting down, screaming and yelling, creating quite a scene in the location. As the court indicated, they did have to call other departments for assistance in removing her from the apartment. When she was in the police cruiser, she was also kicking in the cruiser. The information that the state received yesterday is that as recently as Friday, The defendant was trying to contact Mr. Joyner, and he said he just hung up, but she's also contacting his family and trying to add them on social media. He would like that to all stop, and he just wants them to move on. If she violates, she would be looking at 18 months in prison, and that would be the state's recommendation at this time.
All right, I've reviewed the pre-sentence report. I'm going to place you on community control for 5 years. You're going to serve 106 days in jail with credit for 86. You're to have no drugs or alcohol, and you'll be screened. You're going to enter into the Mentor Municipal Court Mental Health Treatment Program and comply with all their conditions and follow all their recommendations. You're to go to only one medical doctor, one dentist, and one pharmacy for prescription medication. Take your medication as is prescribed. Sign releases for probation. No contact with Willis Joyner or any member of his family, and don't have anybody else make any contact.
Okay, so this must be the first hearing. Okay, got it.
With any of
Got
them.
it.
The appropriate time obtained to maintain full employment, pay the cost and supervision fee. Somebody's going to come to see you in the jail by the name of Jamie Dials from the Mentor Mental Health Program. He's going to talk to you. And I suggest you don't scream and yell at him to prevent the interview from happening, that you talk to him, because they have a very specialized program working with a whole bunch of people that are in this business that can help you, but only if you want to be helped by them. Do you understand that?
Yes.
If you don't want to be helped by them, scream at them, don't do the interview, and I'll find you violated and send you to prison if that's what you want. Okay? You can either try to help yourself, because this has been going on for more than 20 years.
So again, slaps on the wrist, violent, not only after, she was doing that to the person that she was with, she was also going on social media, stalking them through, maybe Facebook, Instagram, right? And still here, all in all, the judge is ready to cut her a break.
Give me a break.
Let's
20
go.
years with you. And nothing you have done has worked. Nothing you have done has helped you. It's only gotten worse. So figure out if you want something or somebody or some program to help you. Or spend the next 20 years kicking around in and out of prison. That's up to you.
You big
Anything
dummy.
else, Ms. Cutts?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Matthews?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
That's it.
3 months later,
All right,
August.
We're here for a probable cause hearing. Ms. Henley, step forward, please. Have a seat. State your name, please.
Cynthia Henley,
What's your job?
probation officer.
As part of your duties as a probation officer, you supervise Ashley Root.
I do.
Is that Ashley Root sitting there?
It is.
Is she in violation of her community control?
She is.
On what basis?
There are 3 conditions that she is in violation of. The first condition is for having contact with the victim. The second condition.
Again, I say this a lot. They think they own the dudes that they're in relationships with. See, before, a lot of times, right, the abuse used to go on with these men getting abused, right? And a lot of times the state didn't pick up these cases in the past. They didn't, especially if the guy didn't come forward. But now the state picks it up whether the guy comes forward or not, because they understand that the abuse is going to keep going on. It's going to continue until somebody ends up getting sent to the upper room. So she abuses the guy. The guy doesn't want nothing to do with her. And she's going to continue to stalk the guy, harass the guy until she's finished with him. And that's what usually happens in these situations.
Condition is for being out of county without notification and approval of her probation officer. And the third is for being arrested for a
And
new
these
charge.
are from what dates?
August 16th, I believe the actual arrest took place on August 17th due to, time.
All right. Any cross-examination?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, you may step down. Ms. Tomaszek? All right, I'm going to find there's probable cause to believe that Ms. Root has violated the terms of her community control. We'll set a final hearing for September 24. And there will be no bond. Anything further, Ms. Tomaszek?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, we're adjourned. We're here on 25 CR 216, Ashley Rude, violation of community control, final hearing violation. You were ordered to have no contact with the victim, and on August 16th, there was a Cleveland Police report of contact between you and the victim. Do you understand that charge?
Yes.
August 16th, you were in Cuyahoga County without permission from probation. You understand that charge?
Yes.
August 17th, arrested by Cleveland PD for assault. You understand that charge?
Yes.
And what's your plea to those violations?
I'll plead guilty to them.
All right, I'll accept your guilty plea and find you guilty.
But
What seems to be the problem here?
I'm sorry.
What seems to be the problem here?
I apologize about some of the things that have occurred. As far as assaulting my ex-boyfriend and the other woman, I didn't think that this was going to happen like that.
Why did you have contact with him?
If I'm being transparent here, we've been in contact since I was in jail in December.
Why?
We basically have been living together.
Why?
I sometimes need help financially, and he's been my financial support for the last 4 years, on and off.
Well,
But you abuse him. So not only has he been helping you out, making sure you good, you repay him by abusing him, and then when it's court ordered to stay away from him, you break it anyway because you want help.
well, it doesn't seem to work.
I'm absolutely aware of that, and
Well, when did you become aware of that?
I've been pretty aware with it for the last 2 years. I was working on becoming more independent. I got another job. At the same time, also, I have been asking for financial help.
You got, as a juvenile, a domestic violence, an assault, a disorderly conduct.
Started
an assault,
early, huh?
an assault, a domestic violence, an assault. As an adult, you got domestic violence, an assault, an attempt.
And what I want to understand, what her history, why did he give a break in the beginning? Why did you give her a break for? All that there should be no break. She's clearly a red flag for society, because all it take was for her to for him to let her go, and she sends somebody to the upper room. That's his fault. That's his fault, because there's clear indicators right there as far as her history that says that she's prone to doing something like that, and she's a threat to society. So why even give her a break? Hey, anyway, let's go.
Attempted aggravated assault,
Yeah,
disorderly
go.
conducts.
That's right. Keep going.
Criminal damaging, violation of a protective order, and this domestic violence. Nothing seems to work when you're on probation. Nothing
Jail. Give a
seems
prison.
to
Prison.
impact
Give
you.
a prison.
Last time you were here, a short time ago in May, you served an additional 40 days in jail. So that got you out the middle of June. Sent you to Mentor Municipal Court Mental Health Treatment Program. Told you to have no contact with Joyner. And 2 months later, you're at it again. So you don't seem to want to listen.
I have told my probation officer there have been several, this isn't the first incident that has happened. There have been several incidents that have happened, which is why I did try to take necessary precautions to kind of step away from our situation. I did check my daughter and I into the Forbes house. I always was in communication when it came to my probation officer about some of the things that have been occurring.
What do you mean you listen to? You don't listen to anybody. You do exactly what you want to do.
Right.
When you want to do it, how you want to do it.
Exactly.
And you've been doing that for 18 and a half years.
Well, I'm sorry you feel
on
like
a
that.
constant basis.
Sorry you feel like that. What do you mean?
And you're only 33. So you haven't changed a thing
They usually don't.
in your life.
I feel like I've changed a lot. I feel
When?
like my temperament has changed a lot before
When?
this. I haven't been in trouble since 2013. I
What
always
do
hold
you mean you
myself
What are
haven't
you
been in
talking
trouble
about?
since 2013. Didn't you hear all this stuff I read off?
as a juvenile.
No, as an adult.
As an
I
adult.
don't really get in trouble with the law.
Okay. What do you mean you don't get in trouble?
These are usually incidents with my ex-boyfriend.
Okay. Why? Why do you?
That's
if they're
getting in
from
trouble
your
with-
ex-boyfriend, why
Oh,
do you
boy.
keep getting in trouble in disputes with your ex-boyfriend?
I'm usually defending myself.
Okay. Okay, it seems to me, from your record and from my contact with you, you do not know how to conduct yourself in a manner that keeps you out of jail. You don't seem to be able to do that. No matter what the conditions of any probation, how many times have you been sent to prison?
Never.
Never. Which means you've always been on probation, right?
It's time to change that.
No.
No. Okay. How many times you been on probation?
Twice.
Twice. Whenever you had all these convictions in juvenile court, were you ever on probation?
Back in juvenile days, I was on a lot of psych medication, so honestly, I don't recall.
Okay. Well, you were.
Always. Always. Never accountability for nothing. It's somebody else's fault. It's the medication's fault. It's stuff in my past. None of this stuff is my fault.
I'm not usually one to not report to her.
You not only do you not listen, okay, to what and do what you're supposed to do. Not only do you not comply with the terms of your probation, but you don't even seem to think that it's a problem not complying with the terms of probation, because every time I ask you about it, you come up with an excuse as to why you're not doing it.
I
And
was
it's
Exactly.
2
off
months
from work.
that you were on probation. This all occurred after you got out of jail.
Not
right.
all of
Ms.
them,
Tomasic?
no, but that one.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Unbelievable.
In speaking with Ms. Rude, she would like to ask the court for an opportunity to continue doing probation. And speaking with her,
What?
she has indicated some
outta
of her
here.
mental health issues. She is currently enrolled in the mental health court through Mentor Municipal Court.
Hey, give us some mental health.
Clients in that court, Your
prison?
Honor, and I've spoken with the judge and Jamie with
I spoke with the judge too.
So from what Ms. Rude told me, she has been enjoying mental health court, so she would like an opportunity to continue probation, get another opportunity to continue going to mental health court. Your Honor, I know she has a hearing on November 3rd for a custody issue with her daughter. She indicated her daughter is her main priority. She does not want to miss that.
No,
hearing.
she's
She
not.
wants to make
Daughter's
sure she
not
can
main
do-
priority.
Your daughter be your main priority
Exactly.
when she can't live her life within the bounds of what she's supposed to do. If her daughter were her main priority, then she wouldn't have gotten arrested in Cleveland on August 16th. Okay, so it's not her main priority. She says it's her main priority, but it ain't.
I'm not a bad mom, so that's really hurtful that you feel that way. I'm sorry
Well,
that you feel that
what?
way.
Well, okay. All right, great. Okay. I'm sorry that you don't conduct yourself like a responsible parent for the benefit of your daughter. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Okay? That's got nothing to do with anything. Go ahead, Ms. Thomas.
Thank you, Your Honor. So we would just like to ask the court for one more opportunity to give Ms. Rude the chance to see how mental health court can help her, what sort of things she can get from mental health court to help with her thinking. I know she wants to get back on her feet, so we'd just like to ask the court for one more opportunity.
She's going to get another opportunity, okay? Whether that be the history indicates she's not going to take advantage of it because she just doesn't. For 17 and a half years, she hasn't. That indicates to me that she really doesn't have any interest in this. Her interest is in getting off with the least amount of penalty possible. And then she can go back and have contact with Joyner.
Exactly.
But she'll get the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, I've gone back and looked at the pre-sentence report and considered all the applicable statutes once again.
Well, what are you going to give her?
And as I said earlier, you were sentenced on May 7th.
More probation? What do you think? More probation? I never seen more probation or prison.
You got out of jail on that sentence when I placed you on community control in mid-June, and you violated multiple times, at least a half dozen times, 3 of which were filed, 3 of which weren't. And you have no concept. You have no concept of why you do what you do, because you indicated to me that there was a perfectly reasonable explanation for each thing you did. You have no insight into what you're doing, why you're doing it, and how to stop doing it. Now I'm going to keep you on community control for the same term. You're going to serve 95 days in the jail with credit for 35. After that, you're going to go to NeoCap. You're going to complete that program and follow those recommendations. And you're going to continue in the Mentor Municipal Court Mental Health Treatment Program. And you're going to comply with all those conditions, as well as all the other conditions that I imposed upon you for your probation on May 7th, including no contact with Willis Joyner or any other member of his family.
Can my daughter and I also have a no contact order?
Can your daughter and you also have?
Yeah, because this communication doesn't just go one way.
Okay,
Okay, I didn't reach out to Joyner. He reached out to me.
okay.
So this is ridiculous that I'm being placed with all these different regulations,
Right.
and I'm also not just
I
a
understand
suspect.
that.
I'm a victim too.
I understand in light of your history how absolutely ridiculous this is.
I can lose custody of my daughter with all these stipulations.
Because
This is
once
crazy.
again, you bear no responsibility in any of this.
You don't even know me as a person. You're going by a fucking piece of paper.
Right,
That's bullshit.
right.
I could lose custody of my fucking daughter.
Anything else, Ms. Tomazik?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right.
You asshole.
Now, first, before I get to the sentencing, she has no care in the world for what she does to people. It's all about her. It's all about her getting what she wants, and just like the judge said that, she's been living her life like that for the longest. What I don't understand with the court system, right, is it seems to me like they're waiting for something horrible to happen before they decide to punish these defendants and I'm talking about these Keishas when it comes to DV cases, because 95 days is nothing to her. 95 days? 3 months? What's the point of that? They don't work. So it's not like they're losing a job. She don't have her own place. It's not like she's losing a home or anything. It's none of that. So 3 months is nothing. It's nothing. She'll be out. She'll be ready to do the same thing over and over, right? So I don't understand. The prosecution was asking for 18 months. And if you ask me, that's still not enough. With her background, DV after DV after DV and other extensive charges that she was convicted of, cases that she been convicted of, not to mention her juvenile record, but everything else. And all she gets is 95 days, and then she calls the judge an a-hole, which I don't know any other judge. If you call the judge out the judge's name, the judge is going to go right back into the podium, sit right back down, right? Sit right there on his chair, and going to call the defendant right back in, and it's going to place more stricter a more stricter punishment for even disrespecting the not only the court but also the judge. We see that all the time. Contempt of court. We see that all the time. So when she called the judge an a-hole, I don't understand why it's like he ran out of there so you don't have to punish her anymore. And she's talking about her daughter and how she's going to lose the case. You don't care about your daughter. You don't care. You never did. Or you will stop getting arrested and get your life together. But let me tell you something, right? The reason why they don't get their life together is because they're lazy. It's in order to get things done in this world, in order to have stuff going on, in order to be productive, it's hard work. It's hard work. And anybody who is out there in the world producing like productive citizens understand that in order to have things, in order to have a stable life, you got to put work into it. In order to make sure your family's protected, to make sure your family is good, you got to put work into it. It's not easy. It's hard work. But it's rewarding work. But they're lazy. That's why they live off the government. They don't have to put in any work. They just lazy. They just want to sit back and collect checks all day. Now she's in jail. Kid is with whoever. And she blames everybody except herself. It's nasty, man. It's nasty. But this is who they are. This is who they are. Anyway, one down for the books. Peace.
Give me a break.